Mesachas Beitzah of Yudalit, the Mishnah says, Tavlin Edoichen b'moduch shel eitz. And Beis Hillel holds, it could be niduch kedarko. Machukis, Beis Shammai Beis Hillel, if you need a shinu to crush spices on Yontif, and the Mishnah's Vur, that to crush salt, you definitely need a shinoi. The Pnei Yeshua asks, how is it mutter to crush spices on Yontif? The malacha of tochein was not mutter l'tzorech ochel nefesh. And Vur and Toisa before in Daf Gimel, that only malachas that are milisha ve'elech are mutter on Yontif l'tzorech ochel nefesh. However, the earlier malachas before kneading the dough is asur on Yontif. So how is it mutter to grind spices on Yontif? The malacha of schika, of grinding, of chopping spices, is a told of tochein, and it's not mutter on Yontif. So Bnei Yeshua brings from Rishonim that explain that the answer is that the Ran's Mavur further in the beginning of Ein Sodin, that together of that Torah Aser, malachas and Yontif are specifically malachas that it's normal to do for a long period of time, like harvesting. You harvest for the entire season, and the same thing when you grind kernels of wheat, you grind a lot for a long period of time. So since these malachas, it's normal to make a large quantity for a long period of time, therefore they're also on Yontif. However, to grind spices is different. It's not made in a large amount for extended period of time. It's normal to make on a regular basis, so therefore it's mutter on Yontif. And the Bnei Yeshua brings from the Ravid that explains a little different, that malachas that's normal for a eved to do for his master is also on Yontif. However, milisha ve'elech, that the master does himself, is mutter on Yontif. So what then when you're grinding spices, since it's normal for the other to do himself before the meal, therefore it's mutter. But Yitzchak Elchanan and Shuvas Ber Yitzchak points out that from the fact that you see that schik is mutter, to grind spices is mutter on Yontif, and to grind kernels of wheat, which is the ab malach, is also on Yontif. It's tochein. Why don't you say mitoich? Since it's mutter to grind spices on Yontif, who then is mutter to grind kernels of wheat on Yontif? So Yitzchak wants to say, Raya from here, that you don't say mitoich from Toda to Av, Ein Shurim, and Shabbos Taf Tzadihei, who mentioned a Beitzah like the Tal V'Ayin Shom. And Sefer Ashel Shloima, as on the Ber Yitzchak, that be'emes, even without the svara of mitoich, typically that since this malach is mutter on Yontif, because you find that you could grind spices on Yontif, therefore it should be mutter to grind all items on Yontif as well. Salkorchach, you see that the reason why it's also to grind wheat on Yontif is because these two parts of the malacha of tochein is two different areas. There's one chelik of the malacha, which is grinding wheat, and the like, which is a malacha that's derech is in a large amount for a long period of time, and that's also an Yontif. And then there's another chelik when you're grinding spices, which is only made for a short period of time. That's a different chelik of the malacha, and only that chelik malacha is mutter on Yontif, and you can't compare and combine the two chalakim of the malacha itself. So the Ashel Shlomo says the same thing will pertain to mitoich, since it's two totally different parts of the malacha of tochein. You can't say mitoich b'chlal. Moving further on, Toisa says that although it's mavur, that to grind and to chop salt needs a shini on Yontif, that's only salt that was not previously ground up. However, if salt that was previously ground up through a meister of a person, it's mutter to grind on Yontif. And the standing is because ein tochein acher tochein, since it was already grounded up, so therefore when you grind it again, it's not considered a malachas tochein. I need to say from Shlomo Zalman that brings it that the Glital says a tremendous chiddush, that if you have an item that was ground but was not finished being ground, you ground it up in a way that it's fit and edible, and afterwards on Yontif you want to go and grind it up a little more, that added grinding is mutter on Yontif. The same way if you have a food that's cooked so you let it add because the item is already cooked, and the Tal speaks out that the Ketores, they were machs and they ground up again before Yom Kippur. They didn't grind up on Yom Kippur is because that the only reason why it's mutter is because it's already a finished product, and that you grind it again is a tesefes ba'alma, and it's not necessary for the process of the food. However, by the Ketores in Yom Kippur, since it needed for the mitzvah to be made to ground it hadei take. So it had to be finished, the process totally before Yontif. And Shlomo Zalman is matmi on this eglei tal. He says, how can you compare chitim that were ground to food that was cooked when the entire food was already cooked? However, if you have food that was ground up and you take a particle that was not completely ground up and now you're grinding it on Yontif, that the grinding on Yontif is a complete malacha and doesn't have a het b'chlal. It's mashma like the tal holes. You don't have to look at each particle, you have to look at the shame of the tikkun of the chefza. And since the chefza is looked at that was nigmar, tikkun therefore doesn't have a chashivas of malachas tochein b'chlal. Moving further on, the Mishnah in Beitzah says, haboyer kidneys beyontif. If you separate the kidneys that are good from the bad, Beitzah says, you take the good from the bad, and Beitzah says, you borrer kedarko. Kvega asks, what's the understanding of Beitzah? You borrer kedarko, you're taking the kidneys that are not roy. The kidneys that's not roy is muktza, and should be also to metaltal on Yontif. And Kvega says it's dichig to say that the kidneys that are not roy, homiyas that they're ruchozil the behim, and therefore they're muktza. Says it's not mashma like that. So Kvega says, the pshat in the Mishnah is that since you're taking out the psoilus for tikkun of eichel nefesh, it's mutter to metaltal muktza tzorich eichel nefesh. That same way Tosis says in the Chesam and Aleph that it's mutter to metaltal muktza tzorich eichel nefesh, and it says from our Mishnah it's a raya to the Tosis. Shlomo Zalman asked that tzorichin, what's the understanding of Kvega that's mutter tzorich eichel nefesh? You could take the eichel from the psoilus and you wouldn't be over in the tiltal muktza b'chlal. So why is it mutter to take the psoilus that's muktza? Says that you see from Kvega that since you be mevar for tzorich eichel nefesh, you don't have to be medaktik, and it doesn't make a difference if you take the eichel from psoilus or psoilus from the eichel. The Rishash asked in Kvega, what's a Kvega's raya from our Mishnah that's mutter v'tiltal muktza tzorich eichel nefesh? Tosis in Shabbos Daf Kuf Mem Beis explains that the reason why it's mutter to take the psoilus out of the eichel and it's not considered tiltal muktza is because it's bottle b'roiv, that since there is roiv eichel, so therefore the psoilus has a din of eichel, and therefore it's not considered tiltal muktza. Ein Shurim in Shabbos Daf Kuf Mem Beis, they explain to Tosis is tzorchi and godel. Why is that mutter to metaltal the psoilus? Your bittul b'roiv is only when it's not nikr the miyut. So the Chaznish says understanding is that Tosis is mavur, that whenever you metaltal for a tikkun eichel, it's not b'chal tiltal muktza. And he says, who then you allowed to take out a fly from a drink, because since you misak in the eichel, tikkun eichel is not considered tiltal muktza. And we explain b'siyat Shmaya and Sefer Manaschein, as Mvuin to Tosis and other rayas Chiddush, that the ged of tiltal muktza is not the pshat. Any oifedi metaltal muktza is bechald is a tiltal muktza. Tiltal muktza has to be only when it's chal. That the shame of the ma'isa is a ma'isa of tiltal muktza is bechal tiltal muktza. And over here, since there's a roiv oichel, the shame of the tiltal is a tiltal on oichel, and therefore not bechal tiltal muktza. And according to this, we explained to get the heter oid biyodoi and kika v'tinik v'ayin sham. Zalman over here asked that tzorichin and Tosis, although at the time of him taking the psoilus out of the eichel, it's mutter because the psoilus is bottle b'roiv. But after you take the psoilus, you should have to put down the psoilus right away, because now it's not bottle anymore, and you should have to throw it out of your hand. He says, although as we were before on Tosis Daf Gimel Beis, there's a heter of oid biyodid by tiltal muktza. The sheet of Even Eizer we brought in Shurim and Shabbos Daf Mem Gimel is that's only by klishim lachta is has the heter of the yodi have muktza machmas guvu doesn't have the heter, so kutem is tzorichin. How could you continue and be metaltal the psoilus? Shlomo Zalman says akorchi you see from Tosis that the original tiltal was in the heter because of bittul b'roiv they weren't geyser muktza b'chlal v'ayin sham.